I mean, we don't accept any donations of any knockoffs or anything.
Right.
Everything has to be the real deal.
So these are actual, authentic
World War I uniforms,
uniforms,
which are now 100 years old. She served in the military in World War II. She was a clerical worker, although she did serve in Europe also. Hazel had a somewhat more interesting background. Hazel she was a nurse, and she was considered a combat nurse. She was in the area of the Battle of the Bulge in 1944, late 1944. They were both docents here. Unfortunately, Hazel just passed away about 2 months ago. She was 94, 93 or 94. And Lorraine is still an active docent here. She's here every Wednesday morning. She was off for a little while. She had a physical problem. She's back on the job. She's 90 years old. Great gal. If she was here, you could meet her. She's really super. You know, so to speak. There was a lot of that type thing. Guys even brought back weapons, captured weapons, and things like that. This little poster, that Hitler poster, that's the real deal.
So that was taken back from Germany?
Yeah, it came back from Germany. Some of these medals and the helmet and things like that were all things that came back. Leo Dumichel, he's been a docent here. He just had to retire as a docent. Leo's 91 years old now. He fought in 8 major military campaigns all the way from North Africa into Germany. He was at Bastogne at the Battle of the Bulge with the 101st Airborne Division, which was, they were really some of the real heroes of Bastogne, which the Battle of the Bulge is probably one of the most famous battles of World War II. The infantry, the Marines, the term grunts was came out during the Vietnam War. The grunts carried them.
With in-flight refueling, but also on the heat-seeking missiles, you had to get a tone in your headphones to tell that the missile was locked onto the target, and you did that by depressing that IFR button.
Okay. That's
And when you got the tone, then you touched her off, and that little round black chingadera up on top, that's rudder trim.
That area that his plane went down, you know he was alive on the ground because his plane actually crash landed. He was in contact, the radio still worked, he contacted his flight, he was the flight leader, and he told them that he was injured, but only superficially. He had thought he had a broken nose. But other than that, he was all right, but he was being approached by hostiles. He didn't say military hostiles or civilian hostiles or anything. He just said he was being approached by hostiles. So the Pentagon and Bob determined that the Russians probably got him. Well, anybody who knows anything about the history of World War II knows that the Russians were never really our friends. They were enemies at the beginning of the war. They ended up being allies when Hitler turned on them.